Hey there guys, hello and welcome back to Green Pips Effects. And on today's video guys, you'll be learning how to trade like a pro using this simple strategy that I'm about to teach you guys. Now, with that being said, if you are already a pro, then Mugen Markets is the solution for you, right? Click the link in the description below. Go ahead, open your live account and trade with Mugen Markets Broker for the best spreads available in the industry, instant deposit and withdrawals, and also lightning fast order executions. However, if you're not a pro, then this video here, what you see on the chart here, is the solution to your trading. Now, first and foremost, this strategy consists of three main parts, right? The first part being structure, the second being supply and demand, and the third being confirmation, right? So this is the route on how to master the strategy and trade just like I'm about to show you guys here by breaking down this entry here, right? So if we look at structure, right, however, I'm not going to talk about these concepts in very depth, right, because I've explained each one of these in their own videos, so you could just go and search them in our YouTube page, right? The structure videos, a lot of them, their supply and demand videos, and order block videos, a lot of them, and also their confirmation videos, a lot of them too, right? So let's get into it. When we look at so I'm on a gold chart on the hourly, of course, since I'm a day trader, right? So if you look at gold on the hourly chart, you'll see that we've been bullish pretty much since these structural breaks here, right? Because we had this bearish market, and then we had this shift. Right here from bearish to bullish, right? When price created this high here, came down to break this low right here, creating this low here, right? And then price from there made these internal breaks, and then finally this overall or the order flow break of structure to the top side with the RTO right here, right? And since this area here, we've been very bullish on gold up until this moment in time, right? We can see that price has been constantly creating highs, lows, right? Highs, lows. You can see it again right here, right? We had a high, a higher low, right? And at this point here, we started ranging, right? So when price created this high and this low here, we were pretty much in a range from this high to this low here, right? So all what's been happening in here is pretty much inconsiderable price action within this particular time frame. However, if you are a day trader or an intraday trader like me, then you know you could drop down in here, right, to lower time frames, of course, like the 5-minute chart, and trade this price action beautifully. However, we're not going to be focused much on this per se. If I was about to day trade this, right, then I'd view this right here as a break of structure bullish, which pretty much came from these order blocks right here, and I'd look for buy opportunities in these areas here. Now, however, this is not our intent, just some little insight there. Okay, so now if we go to where we are, right, so let's remove these and let's put in actual ranges, right? So let's put in actual ranges, let's put in a straight line like that, and another straight line right here. Okay, so what do we see in here? There, right? So we can see that price came in, mitigated these order blocks right here, and then price started to go bullish, right, creating this this channel here, right, which is pretty much liquidity, right? We know that there's trendline liquidity building in here with these lows here, right? Hence price now comes down to take that trendline liquidity, also mitigating this original order block right here, and then price came up and took out this high here, creating this high here, right, coming back down, creating this low right here, and then this low now forcing the move up to break this overall high there and putting in a new high. So at this point in time, we're pretty much in a range from this low right here to this high right here. So everything that occurred back here is inconsiderable, right? So we could just go ahead and delete all of these. Oops, sorry. We just go ahead and delete all of these, right there. Okay, so now we are left with our own range, right? So we could just cut this at there and see how did everything go. Okay, so now we had a high, we had a low, and then we had a break of structure bullish now to create this high up here, this high right here, right? So we can just also remove that. Okay, so from there so now we know that our structural narrative is what? It's bullish, right? And if we have a bullish structural narrative, then the next thing to find is a demand zone, right? Which actually could which actually we could see price going down into and hold that price towards new highs, right? So the next thing to look for was a demand zone, also known as a bullish order block. And for me, based on my understanding, this right here was my bullish order block right there, right? So from this pivot of this wick to this pivot of this wick here, right? So that's where the forces of supply and demand were battling each other, right? People trying to force sells, while smart money was targeting the buys, right? So there's my demand zone or my bullish order block. However, how to view these and how to find these and how to use this is taught in other videos, of course, which I won't speak about them right now. But if you want to learn about it, then you could just go to our YouTube page and search order blocks videos, and there's a playlist for that actually, right? So all the order block videos and all the supply and demand videos have been put in there for a specific purpose of teaching you guys how do we view these areas here and how do we trade from these areas here, right? So in this video, we're just gonna go ahead with the overall trade, right? So from there, the next thing I was gonna do is wait. So now we have, right, we have S structure, we have S supply and demand. The last thing that we need to look for is C, right, which is confirmation. Now, however, at Green Pips FX Academy, we have different versions of confirmations, but here on YouTube, I only teach two of them, right? So the third one is reserved for the premium stuff, for the mentorship, of course. If you also want to join that, the link is in the description below. You know, it is what it is. So from there, we need to wait patiently for the final and last piece of our strategy to be completed. So for confirmation, we need to see price make its way all the way down here into this area, and from here now we can now seek for confirmation and take our trade bullish to target this high right here. So that's pretty much all we were doing, right? So we could just play this out, right? So you can see price making its way down slowly until there, right? Boom. So price has now tapped our area of demand, and this is the this type of confirmation right here, right? This trade right here, this is the premium entry, right? It's reserved for the premium members. However, you can see that I have this red and green candles in my charts, so I'm not going to talk anything about this. This is reserved for the premium stuff. So all we needed to do is wait for this. Okay, so I locked that one. Okay, so all we needed to look for at Green Pips FX Academy is the closure of this green candle here, this wick, and once it closed, then there you have it, right? So oops, there, right? Boom. So there was our trade. Our stop loss was just below this wick, and our take profit target is all the way up here to make it a 1.8 RR trade, which is fantastic, right? I mean 1:8, sorry. So it's an HRR trade, which is fantastic, and we're looking to hold this one out. But like I said, this is reserved for the premium stuff. However, for the free stuffs, right? So there are two ways that you could enter into this entry here. So let's just go ahead and lock this and then hide it, right? So entry number one, right, is the risk entry schematic, right? Which you could just place your buy limit here and your stop loss just below the zone or below the low, right? And then you could look to target the high, right? So this is entry type number one. Now, of course, you would get less RR on this, so this dropped down to a 5 RR trade, right? However, there is this other, so this is entry type 1 schematic, right? And apart from that, there's entry type 2 schematic, which would see us drop down timeframes to the 5-minute chart. Now, what do we want to see in the 5-minute chart, right? In the 5-minute chart, we want to see price going bearish and then ending this bearish trade with a change of character to the top side. And once that change of character to the top side happens, then we will be left with a demand zone that we would want to see price retrace back into and take our trade and target the overall highs with the stop loss just below that low, However, the RR in here is normally massive, but this is kind of complicated since sometimes it could mislead you to miss an entry if you have lesser experience in using it. But also you could take multiple losses before you get that final entry, which could hold price towards your take profit target. Now, however, let's just go and see what happened in here. Okay, so we had a break bearish, right, which came from this high here and created this low here, right? So price goes back up for the pullback and back down for the extension, right? So now we are in a range of this high to this low here. Lo and behold, we have now our breakout structure right here. So now I could just pretty much, I could just remove these, right? So there, so we have a high and we have a low, right? So this is the range that we're currently sitting on, right? Lo and behold, we have that, we have this breakout structure right here, right? So sorry, it's in this instance it's the change of character, right? Bullish, which we wanted to see, and from that change of character, we were so this high here came from this order block right here, right? So this is the area that I wanted to see price retrace down into, take my entry here and target the highs, this overall high here, right? This overall high here, but the stop loss of this would just be below this zone right there. Okay, so let's see what happened, right? So boom, right there. Okay, okay, so let's see what happened. Okay, so price began to move. Okay, there we are, right? So price breaks structure again, right? But look at this break of structure, right? We have a range, right, left to us right here, right? So we have a range. Price never reached here, but created a range and then broke bullish. Now this break bullish is simply an inducement to trick traders into taking false trades in here, right? Because people are already now buying in here. They see this as a breaker structure. Price created a high from a low, and people are already forcing buys in here, right? But what they're missing out on is above and below every range is what? Liquidity. So technically we have sell side liquidity here, and also we had buy side liquidity here, right? So with price breaking the range, price took the buy side liquidity, right, and left the sell side liquidity here, along with an imbalance. Along with an imbalance right here. But you can see there's there's an imbalance here, and below that imbalance, so we have sell side liquidity, we have imbalance, and we have an unmitigated demand zone. That's more than enough confluence for me to simply use this original area here. So let me just remove this real quick. So I was still waiting patiently for my trade right here to be triggered and target the highs, of course, right? So let's take this up. Let's take this up all the way there. Now you can see how the RR increases in here, right? So now I have myself a 1 ratio 28, or this is actually 29. So I have myself a 1 to 29 RR trade, right? It's massive, guys. It's absolutely insane, and this strategy could make you a ton of money if you use it very correctly. So there we go. Price comes down, triggers my entry, and there it leaves. So now we could just go to like the hourly chart, so to speed this up, right? And then we can now play this price action out. So there we are, right? The replay has ended, so now we are viewing live price action, and price is currently here, right? So I'm still looking to hold this trade, right? So I have myself the first trade here of a 1 to 8 RR trade. I have myself this trade here, and I'm looking to hold this price all the way up to this next liquidity run area up here. But of course I am taking partials along the way, right? So just in case if price does this, then you know, I'd still have made money. Now with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the video was very informative to you, and if it was, then don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't, turn that bell button on for notifications, and until the next one, guys, stay safe, have a nice trading week, and peace out.